So think about last night for a second. You close your eyes, and for hours, your mind built this whole private universe. Maybe it was amazing, maybe it was terrifying, or maybe it was just really, really weird. In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on that mysterious, absolutely essential, and often bizarre world of sleep and dreams. I mean, that's the central question, isn't it? A third of our lives were just gone, seemingly offline. But what if I told you that's not the whole story? What if what's happening in your brain during that time is some of the most important work it ever does? Well, let's find out. Before we can jump into that incredible hidden world, we have to get real about the consequences of not visiting it enough. We all know that foggy, irritable feeling after a rough night's sleep, right? But the science shows the true cost is way, way higher than just being in a bad mood. Get ready for this number. 80%. According to the National Sleep Foundation, a staggering 80% of us are not getting enough sleep. Just think about that. This isn't a small problem. It's a massive collective burnout. You could even call it the hidden epidemic of our modern world. And that 80% figure is genuinely alarming because, again, this isn't just about feeling tired. When you regularly don't get enough sleep, you're putting yourself at a much higher risk for serious medical conditions. We're talking heart disease, diabetes. It's even linked to obesity because a lack of sleep completely messes with the hormones that control your hunger. The bottom line is, skimping on sleep isn't some badge of honor. It's a serious gamble with your health. Okay, so let's pivot. We've seen the dangers. Now let's look at the incredible things that happen when we finally get the rest we need. You have to forget that old idea of sleep as just powering down. It's actually the opposite. It's an incredibly active time when our brain and body are doing some of their most critical work. So, let's take a journey deep inside the mind and see what's actually going on all night. Think of it as the nightly maintenance crew coming in to get you ready for the next day. All through the night, your brain moves through this 4-stage cycle, repeating it about every 90 minutes. You start by just nodding off, then you drift into a light sleep. But the real magic happens next. You dive down into deep sleep for physical repair, and then you surface into the famous REM stage, that's rapid eye movement, which is when your mind really clocks in for its shift. This is where it all happens. Think of deep sleep as the body's physical repair crew. Seriously, blood flow shifts to your muscles, tissues get rebuilt, it's all physical. But REM sleep? That's all for your mind. It's when your brain is like an information engine, processing memories, dealing with emotions. It's absolutely critical for learning and problem solving. You have to have both to be at your best. And during that super active REM stage, our minds don't just process data. They create entire worlds. This is where our most vivid, story-like dreams happen. And this leads us from the biology of sleep right into the psychology of dreaming itself. And yes, believe it or not, there is a formal science dedicated to all our weird nightly adventures. It's called waniology. It's the field that takes dreams seriously, analyzing them to understand everything from our emotional state to, the very nature of consciousness. So neurologists have kind of categorized the different adventures we have. You've got recurrent dreams, the ones that might be pointing to some unresolved issue. Then there are typical dreams that so many of us share, like being chased or that awful one where your teeth fall out. And of course, nightmares. But the most fascinating one, the one that really challenges our definition of consciousness, that would be the lucid dream. And this brings us to the climax of our whole journey. What in the world happens when your waking, self-aware mind suddenly just flickers on right in the middle of the bizarre, chaotic world of a dream? This is where the lines between being awake and asleep start to completely blur. Check this out. This account from the early 20th century just perfectly captures the power of this. This woman, Mary Arnold Forster, didn't just realize she was dreaming. She used that realization to take control. She literally taught herself to fly through her own house. I mean, it's the ultimate virtual reality, created and controlled entirely by your own mind. So what is it exactly? Well, the definition is actually pretty simple. You are aware that you're dreaming while the dream is still going on, but the implications of that simple fact are just profound. You become the actor and the observer at the exact same time, a conscious player in a world that you know isn't even real. So, how is this even possible? Well, studies measuring the brain's electrical activity give us our first huge clue. During a lucid dream, there's a big spike in a specific brainwave, a 40 hertz gamma wave, especially in the front of the brain. So what's the big deal? Well, that's the exact same brainwave pattern linked to waking consciousness and those aha moments of insight. It's like the switch for self-awareness just gets flipped on, even while you're fast asleep. And brain imaging studies totally back this up. If you compare a regular REM dream to a lucid one, MRI scans show that the frontal lobes, that's the CEO of your brain, responsible for self-awareness and decision-making, suddenly light up. In a normal dream, that area is quiet. In a lucid dream, the part of you that knows you are you comes back online. So what does this incredible phenomenon of waking up while you're asleep tell us about the bigger picture? Well, it's a lot more than just a cool party trick. It might just be a window into the fundamental structure of consciousness itself. We can think of it in two layers. A normal dream is what scientists call primary consciousness. It's that raw, immersive experience where you're just a character in the story. Waking life, on the other hand, is all about secondary consciousness, the ability to reflect, to know that you're aware. A lucid dream is this rare, powerful hybrid state where both exist at once. You're living the immersive story while you simultaneously know you're the one telling it. And that leaves us with this final thought. Lucid dreaming proves that our consciousness isn't a simple on-off switch. It's fluid, it's layered, and parts of it can be activated in ways we're only just beginning to understand. So the question is, if your mind can become self-aware inside its own simulation, what other frontiers are just waiting to be explored?